For me, bronze casting is a way of life, and we are the one keeping those heritage, because we grow up and we see what our ancestors has done, and to keep it alive, we have to follow suit so that our oncoming children or generation will see what our ancestors has done. I'm Fred Ebuwa. I'm a bronze caster. I'm from Benin, the home of bronze. My family has been doing this artwork for the past 600 years. Right from the time of Obaewaye, it was not making money business. It was only to worship the Oba, to keep events. That's how they were doing it then, because our ancestors then, they wasn't selling it. It had been taken to the palace and to some high-ranking chiefs as a souvenir, as a gift. In our ancestor days, it was just to keep an history, to keep events. Since the ancient Benin, there wasn't writing. They only give mark that so and so time this thing happened. Then the best way to preserve those history was through bronze casting. As for me, I will call myself a craftsman, because my ancestors, they were all craftsmen, not an artist. Everything a craftsman does is in his head. You don't need to draw. That's why if you see most craftsmen, they took time to observe things. Like me now, I'll be looking at the shape of my hand. I look at the shape of my hand. Why am I looking at it? If you ask me to mold a hand now, I don't need a sketch of a hand. I just memorize that which I have seen. I'll begin to mold. Today, I will show you the process of how to cast a bronze. I'm going to make an abstract of an Oba head, right from the very first stage through the wax process before casting. This is the very first beginning of how to do bronze casting. First and foremost, you have to mold with the wax. Okay, we are done with the wax modeling. We are moved to the next stage, of which is casting. This is the second stage after modeling. We have to cover with the red sand. Now, I'm prepared to bake. Like in the next 2-3 hours, it should be ready for casting. I've just set the furnace to melt the bronze. In 2 hours, all will be liquid. You see now, it shows that the brass are fully melted. Once the brass are fully melted, it has a flame on it. And now, we are going to bring out what we are going to cast now. I'm doing the casting now. Aha. Now the bronze has been casted, and we need time for it to cool off so that we can break off the red sand from it. Now it has cooled down. We want to break and take to the next process, that which is filing. After this stage now, we file. Where we are now is like everyone is really struggling in the street. But if there is a support, I think this young one now, they can do better than what our forefather did. But the government, they are not supporting. Because everybody that is doing this craft is just on his own. We will hear that the UN people are sponsoring it so that the thing will not die. But none of those things comes to the craftsmen. For the fact that the government is not supporting, everybody is just trying to survive. That's even the reason you are not seeing the best of our artworks now. Because there are bills to pay, there are things to run. If one is bothered or troubled, you cannot see the best of him. But when one is relaxed, I promise you, anytime he brings us a particular art, it will be a masterpiece. Here we go, it's ready. My message to the world is that whosoever that want to keep this heritage should come down to this very place and see for himself.